We didn't have a whole lot of stuff going on. And Mike Daly's been here. We've talked with him about some of the things we can and can't do. I don't know, if any of you guys have something you want to start off with? Jimmy?
I want to know what's in, and I'll have to ask Mr. Jackson this. How much money we have in the incinerator? Solid waste?
In the account.
It's over 200,000.
Okay, what account is that?
116.
So for this year, 116 budgeted, 203,000 in expenses and 224 in revenue. So we'll have a surplus in 116. And that's keeping. I know last year we had budgeted 60,000 for the ash removal and the 6,000 for the clay. That's keeping those in there for the wall. You know, whatever they decide to do down there, whatever kind of capital.
Okay, so adding that together, what you add them together, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, and getting a surplus.
So it'd be 400 and something?
Well, no, you'd subtract them. So it'd be to like 23,000.
All right, how much we have in debt service? These are some things that went over here, that's why I'm asking.
Around 1.6 million right now.
Right
And it's
now,
gonna increase.
yep. Right now, budgeted to take in about 945,000, and expenses about 825. So about $120,000 surplus on
What was
the
the average? So it should be about 1.7 million then, if everything goes right. Okay.
What was the average in that account over the past 4 years? Or
Which one?
previous?
The
debt
debt service. We always have around over $1 million in it. We pay out of it twice a year. We pay out an interest payment, we pay out a bond payment, and that varies depending on what the interest is for the year. I got a breakdown of it in my office. You need to see it.
Okay, one more question. What's in line item 127, COVID, the COVID money, how much we have there?
And I want to talk to y'all at the actual meeting about that. There's 141,000, and I need to talk to Mike. I talked to the auditors. I'm wanting to clean up my trial balance. So there's that money. That money was already allocated. Y'all spent it on to actually run the county, and we need to close out that
We need to close and
127.
put on one-on-ones.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
And I mean, it's been recommended. Mike didn't want to, I don't think, for a while. We kept it kind of as a little savings. We pulled from it a few times, 141,000. And I'm wanting to talk to y'all. I don't know if it'll be the July meeting or the next meeting. I've got that one, and I've got 2 or 3 more lines in that trial balance we want to clean up.
Okay. I mean, my whole thing is, we've met 3 times, and, you know, I know we listened to department heads and office holders and everything, and I appreciate everybody trying to cut what they have and trying to be as patient as they have. But, I'm wanting to cut some stuff. I'm wanting to make some cuts so we can get these property taxes down what we promised we would get to. And, first thing I'd like to do, let's move at COVID. I'd like to close at 127, move at 141,000 to 101.
It'll take the commission's vote, so we can do that at the commission meeting.
I'd like to take, about, that debt service. We don't need that much in debt service.
I would keep it in there.
I mean, debt service is used to pay debts. I mean, with the money, with the new money we're gonna have coming in, I mean, we should
Pennies from debt service?
we should have, you know, we shouldn't have a problem with that. I'd like to take,
Did we not already adjust some of what we were
So,
putting in debt service?
yeah, some on debt service, yeah.
We pulled some of the pennies from debt
Because it was
service.
high, the percentage of the tax rate that's going in debt service, it's been adjusted.
Yeah, and
Bill, Mike said we could do more though. He said we could do a little more.
Well, it's what we were talking about earlier, when he said we could pull that out. That's what you already had included, wasn't it, Jackson?
yes, of the
That's what he already-
of the
What's the
actual
total on that?
that he moved.
No, that we could pull out compared to what we paid last year.
Have you got the penny value?
Yeah, so the penny value going into debt service is $305,997 of property tax. It's almost 24 cents that goes in there. So in 23-24, we didn't fund debt service at all. And then, so y'all remember
We
that?
made up for it, the
And-
following year.
Right, because of the ratio.
Yeah.
And there'll be another ratio in 28 too, so keep that in mind.
When we're gonna lose money on property
Right,
taxes.
Maybe.
It'll be a
We
ratio.
go back, well, we're not gonna get into that right now.
no, you will.
You will, it's gonna happen.
So just like something to think about too. So there was right now budgeted like $124,000. I hate to say surplus, but in debt service, that's based on 425 of 435 of local option sales tax. I mean that's been pretty steady, so I think I think that's okay to estimate that.
What are you,
Wait a minute, we didn't get an answer. So, are you wanting to,
I'm still on this, I'm just wanting some information. Go ahead, Jackson, I'm sorry.
I mean, no, right now there's $120,000 surplus budgeted for debt service. Right now.
Okay, what did we figure out the value of a penny and a half? What did we figure out that?
Right now it's $12,776.
Okay, I've got another thing. Okay, Jack, this is in your budget, 55-130, ambulance/emergency medical services, medical personnel. Okay. Why have we got so much budgeted there? Okay, here's what I'm getting at. Okay, the original budget last year, or this year was 920,000. And we've used actual, by the time we get down to it, the way it's going, looks like it's gonna be a little over 700,000. So I don't see why we couldn't cut that down to 750. I mean, what's gonna make that increase that much? I mean,
That was just the figures they had in there, I didn't put that in there, but that's,
okay.
I'm just saying. I know, you're paying out a whole lot of overtime, lots and lots of
Yes, sir.
people making way more money than your time they'll do. Jackson Neal give me these figures, and I'm not asking this, but if we paid everybody up there that works a paramedic pay, basic, everybody, and iron enough people to stop all overtime, we'd save over $100,000. That's paying everybody paramedic pay. We don't pay everybody paramedic pay. What I'm trying to say is we need more employees. And I know y'all get tired of hearing it. The only way you're gonna get it, you're gonna have to give them something. You give them something, you get a chance of getting more employees. But right now, we're spending way too much money on overtime.
Well, I'm not.
If you wanna cut that out,
Yeah, I'm not forgiving anything, I'm not trying to cut much, but to me, that just sounds like, it just sounds a little high. I say I'd like to cut that, move the COVID money, take about 60,000 out of the incinerator, or 50,000 out of the incinerator.
How much you want to cut from that ambulance line item?
100,000. All right, debt service, I don't see why we couldn't cut little anyway. I mean, 100,
They can. I think so.
I think 100,000.
Hey, Jim, you own the, ambulance, 100,000 from the 850 or
Yes, sir.
100,000 from the?
100,000 from 850.
Okay.
What was our payout last, what was our payout
What
last
was the
year?
final payout?
654,772.
What are we on? That's for this year?
That's
No,
for 2024-25.
Yeah.
What's this year?
It's averaging
With
out
the
to a little,
24
it's
hours.
averaging out to a little over 700,000.
Now, they already cut it once from
Yeah.
920 to 850.
so that
I'm just
final,
saying,
that
it's been cut
number,
once.
that 25, 26 actual that you're saying is not the actual as of today.
Right. Well, I know we started at 24 hours.
Well, yeah, I knew that because, I mean, it's obviously got 3 months not in there, so I was figuring, the way I was figuring it was gonna be a little over 700,000 the way I had it figured.
Yeah, 723 if you average it like that.
That's the
Yeah.
way I look at it. Okay. I'd like to put 100 there, move the COVID money, take 50,000 out of the incinerator, take 100,000 out of the debt service, do what we promised when we raise these taxes and gradually try to lower them. And we could do 30 cents. That would get it down to at least 306.
Just keep in mind, these are one-time changes that we're doing on recurring expenses,
Yeah.
you know. So next year,
Well, I mean, the next year, here's another thing to look at too. Next year, we don't have any elections, so that money's gonna be down. I mean, there's gonna be places to get money, and there's always a surplus at the end of the year too. There's usually $150,000 surplus at the end of the year. This is, a budget is like an estimate. I mean, so, you know, I've done this enough, that, you know, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. I'm not smarter than anybody, but, also, why, no, never mind. That's what my proposal is. Cut, move the COVID money to 101, take, 100,000 out of debt service and put in 101. Take 60,000 out of the incinerator, move, take that 6,000 out of there, move that to 101. And then, cut the ambulance deal to 750,000. Figure that up and see where that, let's see that.
Yeah, what's the impact of that?
What about the wall at the incinerator?
Not gonna build it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when they're gonna, I mean, I don't know when we're gonna get ready to do it, I
No,
mean.
no.
You're gonna have to pay somebody.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
that, I realize
won't
that.
be
these are
building it.
yeah, these are recurring expenses, y'all. Like, even if we move some of this COVID money and stuff, I don't think it'd be good to count it as revenue, just because it's one time it does. So next year, you know, we'll
You're
be
starting out in the hole next year.
right.
That's just my, I mean, that's my proposal on this, I mean, I'm on the budget committee and there's obviously 4 of us, you know, that y'all's input too.
Let me see what that would be.
I had 3 of them.
Or don't, you know, you don't want to touch the incinerator, take 120,000 out of that service. That'd get us to, we could drop property tax to 30 cents.
Let's do 120,000 debt service, 100,000 EMS, 141. Over 361, 366. So with those things, it'd be 28 cents is what it would come to.
That was that. I thought I had figured 360. Oh no, 12.7, my bad. Okay, 12.7, my bad.
Yep, so right at it.
Okay. I've got about 12.7. Okay, what'd you have figured? You had 12.7. Okay, what was the total figure on that? How many dollars?
361.
Okay. Take 20,000 out of incentive revenue, we could do 30 cents.
I had the original target at 20, cause like you said, you gotta think about next year.
Okay.
You don't want a big hole. You already,
Well, let's
Gonna
meet
be
in the
fighting
middle.
uphill battle.
Let's meet in the middle. Let's go 25. I was 25. I mean, I'm just trying to give
I
you.
think the 30's fine.
Cause when
I think 30 is too. I'm
when we're
just
sitting
trying
here
to give
next year, we're not gonna have this money to move to cover expenditures.
I'm just trying to give some people some belief that we hit hard and we.
Right. I agree.
I mean,
You gonna have to turn around and hit them hard.
I was
again
gonna say, I don't
next
want
year.
everybody to be happy this year, and next year we go
Next year have to do a 30
triple.
cent tax increase, yeah, 60.
I mean, here's my thing. Okay, when we did this, I thought we got coerced into doing too much. I thought we got basically forced to do too much, and that's why I'm trying to cut this back, because I think we did way too much. I think we got told we didn't do too much. They told us we take a big swing. We took a big swing, all right, and I just don't think it's. I just don't think it's.
We spent all them years borrowing money and now we got a big surplus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still good, but we had to raise taxes.
I mean, that's
Crazy to do that, and that's crazy in itself.
I mean, there's no sense in, I don't see any sense in cutting any salaries, cutting any positions. I mean,
So that's where we disagree.
okay, that's fine.
And
We respect this, Chris.
Well, I understand.
I respect
I got no
it. I mean,
problem.
I'm just making my little deal, and y'all can roll with whatever y'all got, and that's just the way I feel about it. We're up here to try to work this out, and I'm not up here to argue. We're up here to disagree. I mean, we're going to respectfully disagree if I disagree with you.
I agree with you.
Yes, sir. Roll me in.
Jackson, what's the estimated solar farm will go down next year?
Oh, let's see. Somewhere around 359, 741 this year, 340,808. So that's about 19,000, 20,000.
You said 340 what?
340,808.
For next year.
So that'd be 20,000 less.
On top of reappraisals in 28.
28, yeah. Oh, no, reappraisal 29, ratio will be 28.
Ratio 28. And to give you an idea, and you know this, when I was at the meeting this week, they were talking about ratios and how much difference it makes. If everybody knows what ratio is, they were just using Shelby County as an example. Ratio year in Shelby County cost them $28 million. They're a whole lot bigger than we are,
The
but
last,
ratio is a killer.
the 23 ratio cost us, what, 190,000, right at
Yeah.
200? Just the tax dollars, not assessment, not anything like that, just straight tax dollars. So, I mean, it is, we had a,
And we know that's coming in 28,
That's
that's coming cutting revenues today.
it's coming. And I don't know what it'll be in 20, this year it was a point, like a 0.1. And I think in 23 it was like a
0.7.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, pretty.
Well, I agree with the excess money sitting in the accounts here. I'm a little concerned about that EMS money, cause the way things have been going with salaries out there and overtime.
Attention EMS, highway mutual aid request
gotta
roll by.
think.
Perfect timing for that statement, huh?
Well, and you gotta think, we had to pay out a chunk you know, to make up the 24 hours where they were getting paid 21, and we went back 2 years on that. So that was a chunk of money that come out.
Okay, so that's what's showing, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're paying them for 24 hours instead of 21 hours.
And we're not gonna have that lump sum payment this year.
No, but you're gonna
No, but that
increase
wasn't
your
last
salary.
Well, that's true.
Comes out every 2 weeks instead of once.
Gotcha.
Jack, how many people you got in training right now?
In training,
Yep.
what do you mean?
For the next level from basic.
I got one that's gonna start paramedic school in August. That's it.
Is that August? And nobody else?
Nobody else is gonna be in training that I'm aware of. Everybody's staying exactly where they're at.
He don't pay for their training.
Oh, I understand. That's not the issue. I'm looking at this overtime issue of who we can have riding, how many ambulances are completely stopped, and what we can do. And me personally, I think we should give them a guideline and a deadline, just like school teachers have. You got so often to get your certification, you don't get them, I'd hire somebody else.
I have no problem. The problem is finding
I
somebody
agree
to
with
hire.
you. But I also, just like Danny and I were talking, there's a lot of places out there right now got a lot of police officers that are coming out of colleges and the academies. You know, there's some career days out there that we should be going to and trying to recruit these people. That's just my opinion.
I got you.
So
But the problem with the career days, just my opinion now, I'm sitting here at this table offering these people this. This is what we can give you. You got a place sitting right next to you, offering them a lot more than we're offering.
Yeah.
Which one they gonna go to?
Well, they may go, but I don't think there's gonna be enough people there to hire all them people. I may be wrong.
They don't graduate very many people out.
I don't
They
know.
don't teach
I haven't
you
been
anymore.
there. But
Not a
I'm just
lot of
looking
people
at
getting in.
standard jobs when you go to places.
They used to, Dyersburg State graduated out several students every year, okay? Dyersburg, nobody else around here would hire them because they had no experience. We would hire 2 or 3 out of that class, get everything going, they stay about a year, then you move on. Then you'd hire 2 or 3 more in the next class. That don't happen anymore. Most of them that's going to school now has already got a job, they're already lined up. Memphis Fire and all them is snatching them up just fast as they can come out. You know, and we can't compete with
So
somebody.
what were you saying a while ago, basically, if we went to more paramedics or more full-time, or what was it that we could save 100,000?
He did the figuring, and this is just for information only. I'm not saying we got to pay
Oh, I know
pay
that.
everybody paramedic salary, but if we paid everybody paramedic salary, but was able to hire enough people to cut out the overtime, even paying everybody the highest rate out there, we would save over $100,000.
But that's an if we
Yeah,
could
it's a
hire
if.
enough, if we could hire enough people.
That's a definitely if. Our biggest problem is we need to pick up at least 2 or 3 employees, and that's not easy to do.
If you're paying advanced medics that type of pay, they probably show up.
Huh?
I said, advanced EMT, make a paramedic pay, I'd come over and take that job.
Well, there's one whole field already.
No, I don't have my license anymore.
I mean, that's something obviously there's too many variables involved for us to do, to make a decision on it right now, because like I said, there's too many ifs, but that's something we
Well, it's been
definitely.
an ongoing discussion for at least
Well, that's
4
something we
years.
definitely need to look at, though, if we can save that kind of money, if we can get that kind of.
And it's not just a Lake County problem either.
There's no sense in wasting time.
Do that finance committee that we were talking about, that's one of the things that they need to be working on, looking at that.
The numbers y'all ran, is it gonna cover the salaries projected with the 24-hour pay and continue cuts? How much room did it leave you?
Just me looking at it, I would say probably not the 750, but I
You
mean,
don't wanna go over.
you can come down from 920 for sure. We brought it down to 850. So I mean, I think there's still some room probably to give some room. maybe not 750, almost.
And if I can pick up one or two employees, it's gonna drop, because you're dropping
It's
overtime.
850, it was
Oh.
920.
Every employee I pick up is gonna help.
That's why I was thinking another 50.
Problem is picking them up.
Yeah, but they're like, they're usually like over 700 this year.
That's what it is, instead of, you want to cut 100, cut 50.
You cut 50 and take more out of debt service. That's where the money's at.
Right.
I mean, debt service is used for debt. I mean, we don't need that. I just don't feel like we need that much in debt service. We're putting, what, 200,000 in that every year. I mean, I don't,
We're
Yeah,
putting, this year budgeted to put 945,000.
that's what I'm saying. That's all, yeah.
That's where you move your money
That's
from.
where we need to move.
Take out 125. I mean, 825.
And you have a bond note of over, I'd say 800,000.
Yeah, there's a couple payments coming out of that money going in. You know what the total is on top of your head on that?
They're coming out.
Yeah, the money, the total is coming out for that.
We just had the last one.
825,000.
All right.
I'm sorry,
825,000.
All right, you take,
See, that's what's.
825 coming out, you got 9 going in. And it's sitting at
1.6.
1.6. Sitting at 1.6 right now. We got 9 plus coming in and 825 coming out, so we got a big surplus in there.
I say, I've already said, move cover, y'all agree on that, I'm just trying to get figures right.
Yeah.
Take 200 out of debt service, and then cut 50 on, cut him down to 800 on that.
Does that put you at, what'd you say, what'd
That
you
puts you
say out of debt
That
service?
puts you at 200.
Taking 200 out puts you going backwards.
Yeah.
Well, do 150. I mean,
120 is,
I mean,
You don't want to start depleting, you know, that was our
Yeah.
problem.
yeah.
That's
because
what
then
happened
whenever
before.
you have cut all these
Then, I
other,
mean, what happens if something
you don't have anything
does,
to borrow from.
something bad does happen, because the first year I come in, it was bad.
Well, I
We had
remember-
to borrow from
Right.
debt service.
I think, I remember, I mean, I ain't saying nothing bad about anybody, but I remember one of my first terms here that several times we had to borrow from the bank to pay payroll.
Right, we had to borrow in June,
We
July,
had-
or August, and to pay when the money starts, I mean, we had to do it in 4 years, so I mean, it tells you things are better, I'm not saying we're great.
I agree with adjusting a little bit out of, this is just my 2 cents. I agree with adjusting a little bit, when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit in debt service. I think you're okay to maybe tweak the ambulance pay line item a little bit. The COVID money, that's good, but that's a one-time deal.
Yeah.
Incinerator, I look at a little something, because that's something I know a little something about, it, you know, equipment stuff. I don't know very little, but I know it's expensive. Something was to happen down there, you know, I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. But
That's what we're here for, man.
my opinion, and I want taxes to go down just like anybody. I know people watching, oh, they want to raise taxes. That ain't the truth. Y'all all know that.
That's all I keep.
But I
hearing is
think
I'm sorry.
they gonna say that anyway.
Yeah.
But I just think 30 cents is way out of our reach. Now, I'm for going down. I don't want to put us in a bind. I know it's election year, and you know people politicking and running.
No, that has nothing to do with what I'm doing,
But-
I promise you, sir.
You don't want to. You
I
don't
said
want to
20
have to.
cents last meeting, that was my
Yeah.
goal.
I mean, I'll go with that, I mean, I was just.
We went from nothing to
Well, everybody
in the
gets-
ballpark and discussing it now.
My thing, the only thing I want to ask you, Jimmy, is like, you know, this is in my mind, this was one of our needling it out and fine tuning it.
Okay.
You know, I wish we'd had, because we're here in the middle of July now. Well, basically in the middle of July.
Done this on the front end.
Yeah, you know, I wish we'd had time to talk about this several budget meetings ago. You know what I mean? Because in order to get one passed by, we got to have it in the banner today.
Yeah, I mean.
But that's just my opinion.
I just made
We
a
have been
proposal.
later in the day in the
I just
past.
made a proposal, I'm gonna lower the property tax, I'm gonna do nothing. I mean, that's fine too. I mean, I'm one person, guys.
What were you thinking on debt service?
whatever we can, and I can't spit off them numbers off the top of my head, but whatever we can adjust it to definitely not go in the hole, maybe give us a little bit of surplus.
120 is
Okay, I thought you went up on that.
proposed surplus.
No, that's our 120, that's what we said.
As it sits now.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's with,
Tweaking between 1 to 2 and y'all just said.
well, okay, so, all right, let me, 2395 cents is how much, so that's really the only statutory authority that we would have to mess with. Everything else, is obviously due and payable, and then everything else is based on sales tax and that kind of stuff. So 2395 cents is how much is goes into debt service. That's 305,997. And then there's 120 surplus. So that difference is what you could work with.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, I still think you need a little surplus. I think it's smart. That's with anything. You never have going out more than you have coming in on anything, ever.
Right. Yeah.
But if you leave a small enough, if you make the surplus so small and something changes, you have to turn around and you have to go back. So that's where you find your line at.
Just by 30,000 feet view, and I mean, y'all could add to it.
You to go back.
I hate to cut that rate, especially, I wouldn't even want to consider that $141,000 COVID money a part of the rate cut, because that's a one-time deal. You know what I mean? Once we put it in the general fund, that's it. I hate
That's what got us in this shape. We have used that COVID money as one-time money revenue, and that's one reason why we're in the shape we're in. We have pulled from it to pay salaries. That's just a fact.
And then the next year the revenue was short.
How many, just out of curiosity, I didn't do that, but I was thinking, how many budgets were over other than the ambulance, the police department, and the school? Over budget?
I have no
I understand, I said,
I know there was enough in the amendment to cover everything, so I really don't know department-wise who all was over individually.
I couldn't find it anywhere.
That's fine. I'm like I said, that's my opinion. Y'all come up with what y'all think. I mean, y'all been here a lot longer than I have. A comfortable number to adjust that debt service. I think it's okay to adjust Jack, but I feel the same way about that. You don't want to cut yourself too short. Incinerator, maybe a little, maybe. Because I'm still talking about that wall. I mean, we got the supply sitting down there. We need to get that done this coming year. That's my opinion. It can sit there another 10 years.
And
You don't want to cut yourself short. And the COVID money, I think it's good housekeeping to move that over. But I don't think I would want to show it as revenue, because you automatically next year you're 100,000 short. If you show it as revenue this year, on your cuts, on your penny cuts. You see what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah.
One thing I want to add on that with the incinerator too. Some of y'all out there may not know this, but we got a brand new front end loader. It had not even had
It still was EMS 50.
250 hours on it. They completely quit.
And then the COVID money.
We had the case people come down and look at it. They wound up deciding, because other companies did the same thing, it was an engineering flaw with this design, and they had to take it in, completely redo engines, bring it from Texas, put a brand new engine in it. Nothing against Case, but I worry if something goes wrong with that thing again, if they had an engineering problem once, they may have an engineering problem again. So we still got the old one, which will run 5 minutes and shut down. We kept it as a backup, but machinery-wise, that one piece of equipment we got that's so important. I'd hate to take out too much out of the incinerator just in case we got to have
Well,
it.
I know that 60 or whatever, it will never, it won't even touch. You can't buy the tires on one for 60. But if we, and this is if, you consider it if all that, but if you come across grant, you know, that's a good start on the match, you know. I think, matter of fact, I think that's about what we match. What did we match that other than
117,000. But did we end up having to do a match on
They
it?
wound up giving it back to us because they took so long to pay us back, they took the
Yeah.
match away and we got it on. Because they took so long. But I'd still worry about it.
Yeah.
You're right, we're going on equipment right now, but that could change. I mean, I agree with that.
Can't fortune tell either way. Can't be an
We saying we don't save our money? Is that what you're saying?
No, I ain't saying that. I said, you just can't tell what's gonna happen in the future. You don't know either way.
No,
You know, I mean, if you balance for that every time.
Well, y'all was
it's a good
talking
thing.
that, I asked if EMS was at if you cut EMS 50,000, you cut the incinerator 50,000, debt service 100,000. Of course, you got your 141 on your COVID. She says it's 15 cents.
Yeah, so, and one more thing to take into account, right now, on the sheets that y'all have, there's two different columns, one's proposed cuts, one's no cut. One of the proposed cuts is, some cuts there, I think at the last meeting they made with the sheriff's department, and, with those cuts, you run a $24,000 deficit, and then, out those cuts, 91,000. So that would eat into some of that savings off the bat, you know,
Right.
to balance the
You gotta come up with another 24,000, so that's coming out of.
Y'all cut that commission pay, there's your 24.
Well, it's,
How much total training's in the budget?
I have no idea, it'd be you, by individual department.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, that's one of my recommendations. All training be frozen at this current time. Do everything online unless it's mandatory by the state.
I'd say probably
That's one.
20,000 maybe. That's
Yeah.
most.
Yeah, that's the one I got right here. I'm against hiring and buying a new patrol car at this time. I don't know if anybody else is on that or not because the amount that's here on this 1 year deal, it's gonna be cheaper to fix it. If we, instead of we buying one, that's mine.
We cut,
what's gotta be fixed?
I know not now.
Oh.
Well, we cut like 53,000 out of the sheriff's department budget, so we keep that line item.
Yeah, he made a bunch of cuts.
And I say vice versa, since y'all got the authority and everything, I think we're getting pretty close to nickel and diming some of those sheriff's department lines, like the medicine, the food. I think
I'm just asking for clarification purposes of what we're doing.
that's all I'm telling for. And if we get to nickel and diming some of that, like, I think we're getting really close to being over some of those. And turn ourselves back into some of that,
From
so.
what I looked at in the sheriff's department and jail, there's really nothing else we can cut, really. It's pretty well cut.
Other than changing what type of vehicles approved, there's a
Either that.
There's a $7,000 difference between the SUV and the
To
truck.
help out with it. Is there any way possible to check out the training, the working schedules to help out, knock out some of this overtime?
If I'm fully staffed, we won't have a lot of overtime, but we're working 12-hour shifts, and anything over 172 hours in a month has to be paid, so anything over 83 hours in a pay period is overtime.
I understand.
Okay, well, if you're working 12-hour shifts, you're gonna work 3 days one week and 4 days the next, that's 84 hours. So they're gonna get, just on their schedule alone, they're gonna get some overtime.
I understand some.
And then special courts, transports,
We work 12-hour shifts. We work 84 hours of pay period. We all get paid twice a month.
right,
We
right.
get paid every other Friday.
See, sometimes they'll have 86 hours, they might have 96, depending on how the month falls. And they can't do anything about that, that's just built into their schedule. But now as far as,
Over there, some of them went back to 8-hour shifts because of that.
well, I've got 2 on 8-hour shifts now, to cut back. Anything over 172 in a month, which translates to 86 in the pay period. But the courts, the transports, We got court going on in another county that we're responsible for, have bailiffs there. It's gonna be overtime.
Just before we get too much going on, shouldn't we make a decision on what Jimmy discussed
Well, I
first?
mean, we're obviously,
And then
we're
we'll
obviously
go-
not,
I agree
we're
exactly.
obviously not gonna be able to do what I propose. I mean, like I said, I mean, that's.
Well, you could come down a little bit.
Yeah, and I've already
Started
said-
out high.
Yeah, I've already said I would come
Yeah.
down. Yeah, I mean,
You had a good idea.
Well, after relooking at it, come up with a number.
Like I said, the numbers I just gave them, it got you wanted 30. If you kind of be conservative about your cuts, it's gonna put you at 15 cents. You were at 0 cents, so.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna do anything on it, I think we'll get to 20 years. If we're gonna do anything. Otherwise, I mean, it's just really not much to
That's
make.
better than what I had.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you was at 0.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, I know last meeting I said 10, and then
yeah.
as soon as I walk out, you look at Facebook, and I'm like, what's 10 cents gonna do? It's better than 0.
Some people will never be happy.
They gonna say
True,
about
true.
Yeah.
You're right. No matter, you know, there's a lot of people that way, and I understand that. That's why I try to stay off that because of that reason.
We're going on about 10 o'clock, we've been discussing.
And we better pray that the
People need to
legislature
cut
does
down.
not change killing property tax and going to the 4% straight across, because it's gonna kill. It's gonna kill old people, people on fixed income. That's a possibility.
Why are you looking at me?
Oh, I'm just, no, nothing against you. They're looking, Jackson knows about that, they're looking at
Sales tax
that.
thing.
Killing all property tax and just raising all your sales tax 4%. We don't want that. You don't need it. That's one of those things you need to stay on top of the legislature.
I'm gonna
They
have to
bring
come
it
out
up.
of debt service to get to Jimmy's point. Cause I said 100,000, it was 15, so. it- 12,776.
I mean, yeah.
I think you need to keep it where it is. That's just my opinion.
Keep it.
The number that he's got.
The first one or the other 4 we talked about? The very first one?
Original.
Original. But that's my opinion, like everybody else.
Bro, make a motion.
I'm gonna make it. I got it. He's true, hold on.
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's see.
I mean, so you think 30?
I do.
All right, what do you propose? What do you propose?
Well, I'm gonna be honest right straight up front. You're not gonna like it. But I say there's 3 positions should be cut. And that's me.
Throw it out there.
I think we need to cut one, upstairs from the court group up there. That's just me looking at the numbers and what I'm saying. I think one in the front office needs to be cut, again, my opinion. And I think over in our
All right, so front office, which office you talking about?
Danny's office. This is up to the supervisors on what they do. And, I think one needs to be cut from our licensing group over here. Three positions, that's my opinion. I couldn't give you much in 2 other departments. I did not get any manpower models on those. And I did not follow up with some of the other people in the other counties on positions and time.
One thing with mine is I've got maintenance of effort. I got maintenance of effort that's required.
Hey, that's what it is. I'm just throwing it out there. Each one of those jobs, how much money? 3, what, about $32,000?
31.6.
Yeah. I'll give you close to $100,000 with it. And I do think too that, again, I think that our training, as we found out, the ones that have got to take the training even on the county court, most of this training, if it's not required by the state, can be done online. A lot of this stuff can be there. especially like your FMLA training and the other stuff. I know I'm big on that. I do not want to see this county get fined for not going with government regulations.
Like I said, if we can't do 30, I mean, drop it down some, it's my ideas, I mean, I just.
Put it before the board. I think that's what we need to do. We're a budget committee, we put the budget together, put it before the county, let the county vote on it.
Yeah, we gotta have something to put in the paper today, though.
Well, hold it on that. So, I mean, we've been spinning wheels here. We need to get a motion on the floor and make a decision and get something done. But when we come up with our final today, shouldn't that be, I mean, I know you got not the final vote for the commission, but don't that go before them to make sure they're not kicking it back to the committee again before you post it in the paper? Because, well, our proposed budget we send up, they might not like it and they can send it back to us.
That's exactly right.
When you say they, you mean
The
the
full commission.
The rest of the committee.
And at that time, I'm gonna tell you now.
Not only
if they
what
kick it
happened
back-
2 years ago and we all sitting there running around trying to change stuff and
Yeah.
half the people that was on the budget committee voted against the budget they sent up and we all looked like we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
And that's one reason, you know why, in my opinion, it needs to be broken apart, because just like we ask for manpower models here, we get people that don't turn them in. You know, how can you say that it's justified? And they just, that's a kick in the face to me. But it is what it is. And if you can't justify what you're doing, it makes absolutely no sense in doing any of it. Because I'm gonna tell you, they can kick it back to us, and they can kick it back again, and they can kick it back again. You may have to go before the state without a budget, and they'll take it over. And then they'll cut what they want to cut.
We have definitely heard that before.
Yep.
You got till August 31st to get it done.
But I do not want to stand in front of these people after we did several years ago and tell them once we get any kind of surplus and we won't work, we won't reduce these taxes and we won't reduce head count if possible.
I think one of your points, Jimmy's on it right there, and just figure out all these numbers we wrote down in the past 45 minutes, which one you want to make a motion for. See what happens.
I do with the addition.
I think they had a number. Jimmy had some numbers that came out to his 25 cents. My numbers came out to 15 cents, so. I was trying to be a little conservative and think ahead, so. But with that being said, I mean, I'm just waiting for the fence and pray you don't strike out next year.
Well, like I said, we got coerced. I thought we really got really heavily forced into doing what we did 2 years ago.
I agree with that, and it was a last minute budget too, and when we got, I mean, we were
Yeah.
at the line, we did.
Well, that first meeting that we had together and
I
there
thought I was
was
held
proposed
hostage.
was not on the original number.
He told what he thought we were going to do. I about swallowed my tongue.
And it did get us to a good surplus where we wouldn't,
Yeah, yeah.
we was,
I don't know, we're increasing our general fund. We've increased, past 4 years, we increased our general fund over $5 million. I mean, we're obviously increasing our, so I mean,
you got some revenue coming in, so.
so I'm saying that's why I think we can do, I think we can get to 36, I mean, I really do. That's just the way I feel, I'm just one person.
No, I'm with you, 100%. I will vote no on anything else if we don't give money back to these people.
That's what I said last meeting, so.
Jimmy, you didn't know what you had.
Sir?
Are you sticking with what you had?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And she up there where we get money from, that's.
Money's there.
Okay.
Can you propose it exactly what you?
Yeah, make it in a motion,
Okay.
how you want it.
Okay. I propose that property taxes 30 cents by virtue of cutting, closing out COVID and moving that. I know y'all just ripping on how that shows up or whatever, but, taking money out of debt service, a little bit out of incinerator.
How much?
How much?
How much?
I still say 200.
No, debt service?
I mean, that's a deficit in debt service. You don't have enough to be putting in there to pay your bills.
But we got 1.6 million, almost 1.7 million in it right now. And we're going, I
So
mean,
you wanna cut it, what, 200,000?
150, whatever. I mean, I'm just trying to make this number come.
Pick one.
I think we can do 120, really do.
I get the 150 then.
We're gonna do some math, cause he's,
250,000.
We'll do some next year.
see what the numbers he comes up with. and we
I can't
figure
stress
it
that
out.
enough. I know it sounds so good
It's not
right
gonna
now,
get to 30 cents, it's not gonna get there.
but yeah.
Gotta add some stuff to it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we could get to 20 cents realistically, I mean.
What, you had something else, what else, Jim?
50,000 out of the ambulance deal, we will cut that from 850 to 800. We should do a little more, but y'all, I'll agree with y'all on that. I'll go along with you on that. I mean, the COVID money's been sitting there for several years. I mean, we hadn't touched it.
It's gonna get moved either way.
I know that. I
It
know that,
is, but it
we-
shouldn't be counted as revenue.
Cause it won't be revenue next year.
It's gonna
That
be,
money's moving.
you already allocated it on expenses.
So with the numbers you get, real quick,
Only thing it's got going into it is interest each month.
with the numbers I gave a while ago, and it got to 15 cents, was that not counting the COVID money?
No,
Right.
that was straight
That was
200,000.
just showing the money I had, okay.
Yeah.
So that's 150 out of debt service and 50 out of ambulance, is where you got that 200.
No, I had 50 out of EMS, 50 out of incinerator, 100 out of debt service, and then COVID money, which doesn't count.
And maybe to lessen the blow to run a deficit in any of those accounts, maybe if you remove the surplus from solid waste instead of running a deficit in debt service, that'd still come out to 200. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what Penny was. 15.
200. Yeah. it's
15.65.
And that's being conservative and maintaining, not putting the COVID money in there to be able to.
And that's running what in the black on debt service? 24,000?
If we do,
Well, it's not counting the 1.6 that's already sitting there.
Right, no, yeah, I'm just talking about-
well, right now it's 120 surplus, so I mean,
So we still got 1.6 sitting there, just
Right.
drawing interest.
Right.
Closer to 1.7 is what they said.
So it's about $20,000 to the good.
But if we pull that out, reach that, then next year you're going to pull it out of there again, and then it's gonna get, you're eventually gonna be back
They
where it
do,
was in
those payments
14.
vary every year.
so
I
those
mean, it's
payments, the
always-
interest on those bonds.
It's gone
goes
up ever since I've been here.
To the tune of roughly
It
annually.
just, it varies, I mean, anywhere from 700, it's 825,000 now.
It's not done till like 37.
2037 on some of it, 2036 on another one.
There's 4 different splits on it.
All right, so you gotta take some of that into well, you ain't got to, but it's smart to take some of that into consideration. We take what you said, the pilot on the solar is going to adjust, and then we already, I think everybody agreed that not show the COVID as a revenue.
Right.
So
Take 30 off the table. Take 30 cents off the table.
so realistically, brings you closer to 200.
So I think the numbers I just spouted out,
I'm just saying,
The
you should
200.
remember that.
and that's
The
being
payment's
conservative
gonna go-
because of what's next year.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just remember, give yourself the room. I'm not arguing or agreeing, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, just remember that in debt services, the payments will go up. So leave yourself that. And off the top of my head, I mean, everything gonna go up, but that we know of. And then, I lost my train of thought.
So you're saying we should go EMS 50, incinerator 50, instead of 100 on
Well, I'm
that
okay with
service?
playing with the incinerator, yeah. And I'm good with playing with the ambulance. That was my point.
Well, the number
That,
you did,
those, that might go, you know, we don't know what that,
at 200,000, you're getting 15 cents.
oh, the solar pilot's gonna come in. I didn't say that.
Jackson, what total we have to get to cut it 20 cents? What kind of total is it? 250-something thousand?
What are the numbers
Or
I've been
how much,
saying?
15 cents?
No, I was talking
200,000,
20
15
cents,
cents.
255,000 is what you're gonna have to cut. 255.
Could get 255,000.
Well, I understand that.
So, 120, I'm just talking straight surplus. 120 in debt service, 20,000 in solid waste, so there's 170 of surpluses in those accounts, roughly.
So the surplus in debt service was 120.
120.
Yep, and then if y'all do say the ambulance, that'd be 50, so we're at 170. No, I'm sorry, 190.
220.
And so there'd be a difference of 65,000.
I thought you said 120 on debt service, 50,000 on incinerator, 50,000 on that line item on the
EMS.
EMS.
No,
These are
20
surpluses.
of solid waste is the
Harper
surplus.
said 50.
50, that's what we were talking about.
Okay, well, I'm just making
He's running
surplus.
through surpluses
Surplus,
on,
not what we're cutting.
I was talking cut.
Oh, okay, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
he
okay.
started running
Surplus.
surplus. money.
Okay.
You got a surplus of 20,000 on solid waste. And we won't cut it 50,000, you're fixing to be in the red.
But, I mean, our equipment, we bought, our equipment is good, I mean,
I don't think we're putting it up. But that's me.
Our ash pile is a quarter.
Yeah, that's something else I didn't even think about.
Ash pile is a quarter of what it was. He's doing a great job.
We're gonna put all in ashes.
Shit, you we be in the same spot we was in?
We're recipeing for that.
Another disaster.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, but yeah.
We've got it in the budget right now for ash hauling.
Different deal on this.
Say that again.
We've got it in the budget right now.
Yeah, I know,
for
like
ash
it is.
hauling. Yeah.
while I'm,
What you doing if you cut it?
Nope.
why the property taxes actual dropped down so much from last year? What's that about?
Pulling the the solar money out of the aggregate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's right, I want to make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
just when the pilot
Okay, that's
started.
the way it adjusts. Okay,
Mhm.
all right, okay.
So we gained a little, in the aggregate, just not enough to overcome that 359,000 coming out into
I mean,
the.
I'd like to get to 20 cents, but if we can't get there, we can't get there, guys.
I forgot about the actions. I'm against, we're gonna need to leave some of that money, cause we cannot go through that again. That was a disaster.
Don't shut it down this time.
Oh, absolutely.
It's taken it 4 years to get it down. Or was that 5 years?
Yeah, yeah,
Is that
Danny
it?
started that, yeah.
That happened in 2021, didn't it?
So I know we originally thought maybe getting all this, publishing it, and doing it at the 20th meeting. But with some of this stuff, it may not be a bad idea to push that 20th meeting to a week. So maybe next week it can be published.
As long as we publicize it, we can always.
10 days, right.
Let's lock down your number.
Well, I got some figures
Let's
today,
make it
well, I got some figures today that I didn't have. I mean, they didn't have the incinerator debt service or the COVID money, that don't matter anyway, but I mean, it's just a movement, but I mean, I didn't have it. That wasn't on my.
We had an early start this morning, so we can make it happen. Let's make some moves.
I said what I thought.
You still hung up on 30?
No,
No, I'm talking about,
oh, no.
No, I'm just waiting
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry.
Johnny.
I'll go down a little bit, but I'm not going past 25 cents. I'm sorry, that's just the way, I will not go any lower. That's just me.
How you propose to get done? Tell me.
Well, I've got a proposal here on the thing, on, you know, on 2 or 3 different things. I've not heard anybody comment on.
You want to cut staff. That's all I didn't hear any other numbers other than cut staff.
I want to freeze all travel. All cost comes out of that. Do your travel online. Everybody else does it online. No sense there. If it's mandatory by the state, we got to do the things we got to do by the state. But like we said when we started this, tough decisions have got to be made. And we got to look at where we can do this and get by. I don't like doing it either. But at the same time, that's my recommendation.
So
And I'll agree with the other part. I'm not gonna give up on that.
you say cut all training unless it's mandatory. How do we know what's mandatory today?
What do you mean?
You don't.
You said cut all funding for training unless it's mandatory. Well, how do we
The
know
state will
what, how
tell
the
you,
legal?
tell these people, they know what they have
Yeah,
to
but
do.
if you put 0 in the budget, it takes effect
I mean, it's
July 1st.
mandatory for y'all to go to training, but y'all don't sometimes.
No, wrong.
I'm
That's
just
not
saying,
correct.
I know that
You
for
go
a fact.
Well, that's not back for everybody. I'll
I'm
tell you right now.
grandfathered. I'm grandfathered in.
My training record is up to,
You're not grandfathered, stuff changes.
yeah,
Well, either way,
It
whatever.
does.
but I'm telling you now, makes no difference what you want to say.
I'm up to date. I'm up to date on mine.
Yep.
They let the man right
I
there.
realize
They
that.
not let you know who's done the training, who had?
At the end of the year.
Exactly. So,
End of the year.
and if we can do it online, everybody else can do it online.
And the thing, when
That's
they
cut
gave us,
training for all offices?
If all offices, if it's not state mandated training. Joey and them have state mandated
Right,
training.
that's what I was,
but they got the wrong figures because they said y'all two didn't have them and you both had proof that you did.
Yeah.
Both of
Exactly.
y'all already had proof that you did it.
Yeah,
Can't always do it.
yeah. And that goes along with the ethics department, because they check that as well.
I mean, 30 cents obviously off the table, I understand. I just didn't hurt to, I mean, that's just where I started. When I started, thought we could get.
You don't know what you can get till you try.
So Jimmy, you iron out your numbers.
Well, I'd like to get at least.
Cause I agree with what you're doing, I don't agree with all of the totals.
I got you.
I agree with what you're doing.
and it just, hey, I'm like, I agree with you, but the numbers ain't numbering to get to 20. I mean, you can cut it 40 cents, but next year you're going to have to raise it 60 if you do that.
Jackson, when we took that money out of debt service and payment, how much did we take out that year? How much did we do?
We took out, I'd have to look, but I know we took it out and then didn't fund it.
Yeah.
So I think
I wasn't talking about, I was just
I think
asking.
we took 400 and then we didn't fund it that year. So, it looked like a little bit over 700,000,
So the next year we had to come up with.
700,000.
1.205 for training.
Okay.
Taking the training out of everybody will take 1.205 pennies off of the tax rate.
Travel?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that much, yeah.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, training.
Yeah, I find out because 2 meetings ago that I was attending, we were complaining about people not being properly trained. So,
All they gotta do is go online and do the training.
not every school, not every class and everything you need is online.
If it's on there, all they have to do is come before the board, go to their boss, say, I need a
Sitting
training,
here
the
with
boss can do it.
$50,000 in training budget, I mean, it's like $1,000, $800 in one.
Well, what do you want here? You want to
I
cut
mean,
the
he's got
salary
state
here?
mandated training from them, like on the law enforcement side, they got their state mandated training. We need to be encouraging more than the minimum.
Can't do any
Highly
rock
trained.
and
I would like to
range.
know how many people we have that actually go above and beyond on training.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I know what I do,
but that's different for different
but I
folks.
know that.
We can't even get a lot of people to do the basic training.
The training in my buddy is all mandated.
Yeah, I
They
understand,
have to.
and that's
I'm just
what I
saying,
was saying. That's why I didn't say anything about the school board, you, or the police department.
You know, like, I've always said that, like the elected officials, they got a high salary, you can do that, but they got staff that have to be trained.
Well, they can come back and train them, or they can get their training
They need
online.
training.
That's just my
Like we said
opinion.
before, they need training. but-
Hey, it's one vote, one person, that's mine. You asked, I gave it to you.
Right. But we're 3 hours into
I'd like,
talking and no decisions have hit the table.
I'd like for, I think I see a couple of our audit committee members, I'd like, Pete and Sonia, I'd like to ask y'all to give an opinion if you would, and if you don't, that's fine. But if you have one, I would love to hear it.
I just got a few notes here. Thank y'all for allowing me to step in here just a minute, but I just wanted you to know that myself and Ms. Sonia Covington, Mr. Albert Markham, and a new person, Beth Bartlett, has joined our committee, if you will, and I think we've been on 3 or 4 years, Ms. Sonia. Four. Every year we're presented with audit findings, many of which are repeated, and every year we make suggestions. But to preface that, I just want to say that we're an unpaid group. We just donate our time to come in. We assume no responsibility. We don't vote on anything. We don't have the authority to act or implement anything. We just examine. We analyze the financials. We give our opinion on what should happen. And every year we make the same suggestions. Nothing gets done. Same result multiple times. Audit findings are repeated. I mean, there's some things that could be changed just so simple, and they come back every year as a repeated audit finding. The person in charge of the financials of this county has to have an accounting degree, has to be an accountant, have to have knowledge of a municipality. And that's not the case. We have said that every year. You've got to have someone who knows accounting and knows municipalities. Ms. Sonia, you were talking about centralized accounting body, if you will, but there's just no progress in the audit findings every year. And we meet, we discuss, we suggest, no progress, and that's just the way it is.
So, in your opinion, is and I don't know, we hadn't talked about that here today, but a step towards a central finance with that setup, is that a big improvement?
It is, but a person with some municipality experience.
Right, with that being
Yes,
a
sir.
strong
Y'all got to
stipulation.
create a position, cut something. Mr. Johnny mentions cutting staff. Nobody likes that. But if y'all do not come up with a person with some accounting knowledge, you're going to get the same result. Simple audit findings year after year. And like I said, we don't go to the board meetings. We don't get paid. We don't make motions. We analyze and give our opinion. And every year it's the same. And it's just,
I wasn't aware of that. I appreciate you letting I was not aware of.
well, Ms. Sonia wrote a letter to last year to the board explaining that, because after a couple of years, nothing got done. We said, we need to make known what our position is and, our lack of responsibility, because we can't make motions and we can't vote, so we just, like I said, donate our time, let the county know what we think we have year after year, and zero progress. So I just wanted, Ms. Sonia and I wanted to come today and just present to you guys that, because if you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, that's not going to happen.
The state comptroller came to talk to us last year. We had our normal meeting in May, and I think Danny had mentioned the state comptrollers were still there, or some members of the state comptroller meeting. I think they talked to us to try to impress on us to, I won't say force the county, but ask the county to actually do something. And so we actually had 2 meetings last year, and that was part of my letter that I wrote to Danny, that we all talked about it, adopting the centralized system. That is not going to be without growing pains. You know, what you need, most counties, I think there's only a few counties in West Tennessee or most of Tennessee, but being small doesn't make you immune to the findings. I think there's 2 smaller counties in Tennessee that only have 3 to 4 audit findings every year. I think since 2017, Lake County's had at least 8, usually in double digits. And so what that means is that over and over there's a sentence that's used in their audit findings and in their audit report that says the management of Lake County is either unwilling or unable to make that change. I think they came and talked to us, Mr. Munpire's letter, I think Danny was either coming into office or whatever, said hopefully the new administration will make those changes, because the state can come in, if they don't think you have a sound financial system, they can come up and say, that's it, you've only got so long. We heard from those state auditors last year that I think and I don't think anybody, there's any improprieties that I know of. I think everybody in these offices is trying the very best they can. I think the clerks are trying the very best they can. But if I left Fort Orlando, there's nobody there that can close my books. There's nobody there that can do what I do because they don't have the education and experience to do it. They would do the very best they could at whatever job they do. But this county does need a financial person that could lead this county into a centralized system. Y'all will have to formally adopt that. That's not, you don't twinkle your nose and make a vote. You move towards that. That would take some restructuring. That would take some of these offices that are doing the same deposits and the same purchasing. It's like a big corporation. It's like a plant. When I worked at World Color Press, every department did not go make a deposit. The accounting department made that deposit. So that centralization would then just take this county, and the act that they're talking about is from 1981. I'll say that again, from 1981. That's 45 years old. It's not like it's not a new idea. You can actually do it by several different acts, a private act. The county commission has to make the first step to say, we've got to clean up the accounting, because without cleaning it up, Mumpire and them are going to keep coming in and they're going to keep finding the findings, and I really believe they have to pretty much redo the financial statements. And they're just kind of, I think, I can take it from last year, I think they're just kind of overdoing that. And I think he came up here this year because he's trying to get the attention of the Lake County people. We can't make good decisions, and every one of y'all are sitting here making great ideas about budgets and this and that, and y'all are trying your very best. I 100% believe that. But most people that's dealing with millions of dollars in multiple departments and municipalities with budgets and the way the government works needs an accountant or a financial person in that county to help you. They would be the main person talking about this and coming up with proposals to talk to the budget committee. It would not be without some people either being restructured under this department, underneath them, some help to the other departments. Maybe that could be cut. Maybe there's several clerks that would work underneath them. But that would have to be done in a centralized system. And most people have that. Most schools have that. Most governments have that. And I think Mumpire was just saying, remember he had 3 things up there, and 2 and 3 we don't want to talk about. But I think he made a point to say 1 is absolutely required. Because without good numbers, you can't make good decisions. That's in any business. And this is a business. And that takes a step to say the county commission needs to vote for it, and they need to say, this is what we've got to do. And on a personal note, I'll take off the audit committee and off these taxes. I think everybody here would love to have taxes cut. But what I hear in this audience, and I'm kind of putting my foot in my mouth, is, if you do that, and the only worst thing in any business is going back and having to raise them back up. All the other counties are kind of catching up. We're in Dyer County this year. I live and breathe down there all day long, and all these other counties are going to have to come up with their property taxes too. And Jimmy, I appreciate everybody trying to cut the taxes, but the only worst thing about doing that is to have to go back in another year, because you think it's a firestorm now. And so I'm hearing from this audience behind me, who are the taxpayers and county officials and things, that we all love a tax cut. but not without the idea that I don't come back, you come back next year and you have to raise it. It's going to be, I would think, a firestorm in this county. So, but I appreciate everybody looking at the numbers, and I really think y'all need that person to help you look at the numbers. But that person will be responsible for looking at all of these things that y'all are talking about with the department heads.
I appreciate your input. I appreciate what you had to say, and
So,
I appreciate
I mean,
that.
I think y'all are trying the very best you can, but I would hate to try to run a big county like this without having that financial person here all the time. And, you know, I think the county commission needs to really look at that next time about trying to move towards that. I know Danny spoke to me before the meeting and said he's been in touch with Mike Gailey about how they would go about doing that, but.
That's one of the things we're gonna have on the agenda for the next meeting, is to look at the centralized. Mike has talked to us about that. As you said, the key to it is the county commission has to agree, take it to the state, and then through CTAS or through comptrollers, they will help guide it through. They said it won't happen overnight, but at least we've got the process started, and they will show us where we can use for financing on it. So that's something I don't think that any of our board, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. So,
As long as we can fund it, I don't have a problem.
And that's one of the reasons that I was talking about where the money needs to come from, because we don't wanna go back to taxing people so we don't fill that job.
I got you.
We need to be using what we've got, and that's just where I think the money can come from to do it.
and a little bit, we can get a little bit out of fund balance, a little bit. We don't want to use much, but we can use some, but they will help us with it, and we appreciate what y'all guys do. We actually have CPAs
Oh, yeah.
right there, which is very good.
Great people, great individuals as well.
She made a point, like I was saying about cutting them this year. You don't wanna swing for the fence and be here next year or doubling back what you're doing. I mean, you need to make cuts, but don't kill yourself in the process.
Okay, so are we for no property tax increase, no property tax cut at all?
No, I don't say so. Just me.
Yeah, I mean,
We got,
I'm all for something. I just
you know,
don't.
I mean, we got 15 cents for our bread on that. That's not putting us in the
Like they sitting there giving a number, don't put yourself in the hole trying to reach a magic number.
Well, I've got not the magic number. I got way off the magic number, or whatever I was on. I mean, I'm just trying to come to
So
an
you making a
agreement.
good faith effort that
I'm just
what was said would happen.
I'm just trying to come to an agreement that we can, you know, we got at some point, we got to finalize something, so we put the paper and vote on, so we can vote on whatever we have to do. But we don't need to go much longer, because the school system are trying to buy books right now, and they need this thing done too. I mean, there's a lot of people playing this.
So where we at?
I said, you said we could go 15, didn't
Yeah, I had 200,000 worth of cuts, which
Did you figure in the $90,000 on the cutting of the job? Could you do that, please?
so then when you end up with your centralized billing and you reclassify people, then you're gonna have to hire new people.
Well,
because you cut some
that may have to happen. There's a lot of changes gonna have to happen before we get to where we are. But, that money right there may hire who we need.
There's no reason that some of the people that are already there can't assist with the centralized accounting.
So here's where we're at. We're a voting board. We're a committee. You have a proposal. Your proposal is on the table. If you lay out your numbers and make a motion, see what it gets. And then yours is added on. You're separate from what he said,
That's fine.
because he didn't include that in the beginning.
I agree
If you
with
wanna add that,
everything.
Then you put yours up,
That's
take
the
it to the
2 or
vote.
3 things I wanna add to what he's already
Let's get
said.
Right, then you add an amendment to what he did if his gets approved, and you keep going.
I agree.
Let's roll like a board.
All right, 120 out of debt service, 50,000 out of ambulance. We still gotta come up with another,
You got 20 at the incinerator.
So that's leaving no money, that's leaving no surplus in debt service.
Go that center.
Or the center.
How about instead of trying to,
All right, I'm not.
instead of trying to reach a number,
That's what I'm
just
fixing
look
to say.
where you see that there should be cuts made and make those cuts.
And
if
see
you
how-
think it's too much, and just go with whatever number it is instead of trying to reach a number.
Exactly.
Because if there's something that needed to be cut, it should have been cut anyway, and let's not try to reach a number, let's just go through what needs to be cut, and, because if there's something that's got way too much money, it shouldn't be in there anyway.
And I don't think we're gonna be able to get the publication this week, so.
Yeah, well, that's,
Time's of essence, I
no
just
doubt,
don't think about that.
and we ain't worried about that, let's get some numbers and get something written in stone and roll with it.
Take 150 out of debt service. I mean, I still say that's, you know,
Put it on the
there's a
table.
lot of money out there. There's a lot of money put in there.
Make a motion.
Make a motion. 150 out of debt service. Take the 50 out of line item on the ambulance service. And drop the property tax 15 cents.
What about the incinerators? Gonna leave
No,
them?
they said don't mess with, they said don't mess with them. So, like Harper said, I mean, I agree with you. He knows he knows about that. So if he says we don't need to cut that, then we don't need to cut that.
1.6.
Let's do like that.
And it's taking it from debt service and keeping the incinerator where you can get the wall built. Right, you gotta build the wall.
In the ash.
Yeah, and
And I asked you, that's the main
That's a
thing.
good sales, right?
So 50 from EMS. You don't wanna be back here next year raising them. And 50 in debt service.
I mean, we took 400 3 years ago, whatever, so I mean, I don't mind if you take 150.
I think you're fine.
Well, that's where I'm at.
Second.
You said 150 and 50.
Taking 50 from EMS and 150 from debt service. And that's his motion.
That's 15.6546. A motion and a second.
Motion in a second.
Any
And then I've
discussion?
got an addendum.
Yeah. Let's see. Calling for a vote? Yes.
Vote.
I'm yes.
You're a yes?
Yes.
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 I'm gonna know, and I'm gonna tell you why. The only part I'm gonna know again, I do not think it's wise to run a deficit in debt service. That's the only thing I'm against.
Based off your, that's
No.
based off the revenues for the year. You got 1.6 sitting in there.
I know,
1.6
I
million
know,
sitting in there.
I know. But that,
But it'll continue if the revenues don't increase next year. You can keep pulling
But-
from that fund.
y'all, it's
I
three of y'all,
understand
it's
what
one of
you're
me, it's.
I understand what you're saying.
I just wanna let you know, I think it's the right way.
It's the right way, numbers,
That's just my opinion.
I agree with you.
You change your vote then? Still the same?
No,
vote?
I'm staying yes for this year on that.
Alright, so we got that. There's
We can
that.
reevaluate it, because it ain't gonna, that won't affect any tax rates. You just change, if next year well, we're not taking 150 from it, and then.
So you can't underfund it 2 years in a row. You
Right.
can't.
Yeah,
So
you have to.
So
You have to.
we'll have to raise it next year.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have to raise.
We'll have to, yeah.
Okay. We'll have to raise the rate next year.
So if you're using that solely to cut, you're using the tax decrease as the way to change the amount you're putting into debt service, and then automatically next year you have to put back into debt service. That means taxes have
So
to
that
go.
means,
Unless we recover,
Hopefully we will.
right?
That's right. Yep.
Because I think that if there's a recovery issue out here that everybody needs to be looking at, and it's gonna be down the line, but I'm gonna tell you, over the next 2 or 3 years, there's a recovery issue that needs to be done. And that'll come forward.
and that added something that I've been sitting here thinking about the whole time. Which doesn't make sense. I mean, we've been hoping and praying for recovery and light at the end of the tunnel for, I know, 12 years. And all we've been doing is running against a brick wall. And if you make that huge cut in the debt service, I rescind my vote. Let's talk about this real quick. Cause we shooting for numbers. I mean, if we should have been doing this when we raised them 36 cents. We should have had these conversations. Instead, the budget committee got up there. They didn't say nothing. We started arguing in the middle of a meeting. People that sit on there didn't have anything to say about what should have been done, and then we're all sitting there holding our hands at the last hour to approve a budget, or the county shuts down. And now we're sitting here, we have the opportunity to make them decisions, but we're trying to get to, and you're doing exactly what you should be doing. Our job should be to cut taxes, but at the same time, like I say, I don't make decisions based on politics. I do it for what's best for the county.
Exactly.
And
I'm not
we got the money sitting there, but you still have to fund that. If we put ourselves in a deficit, then we're just gonna be spinning our wheels next year.
No, it has nothing to do with politics.
Right, I'm not saying that, I'm saying that's just something I always said.
Nothing to do with politics.
I don't think about any of that.
It has to do with what I hear constantly about.
Exactly, I have to pay up, I'm paying 3 times what I was paying.
What do you think I'm paying in a business and rental house? I mean, but
But I also want the police show up when I call them, I wanna know the ambulance is coming, and I wanna
I'm
know.
not doing
the
it for the thing either. I mean, that's, but I mean, no, I'm not trying to grandstand or nothing. I don't do that.
Yeah, I completely understand, and I'm not saying that.
Anybody knows me knows they don't do
But
that.
I'm saying, let's cut, because we should be cutting everything we can cut in here.
Well, let's
Sitting
find-
here today, I'm not here,
Let's find another place.
getting rid of employees is the very last straw.
I agree
If they're
with you.
not, if they're,
Oh,
I
but
mean, if
I'm
you're
okay.
overemployed, if you had 6 people working in the office, yeah, that needs to be cut. But when you're at the bare minimum already,
But who says that's a bare minimum?
common sense.
Well, sometimes it may be,
I
sometimes
think
it
that's
may
what
not.
the state mandated
Yeah, I
for
mean-
work upstairs.
If you have one person working in the office that's elected and then they have a
I
deputy,
think deputies is too.
somebody's gotta fill in there somewhere, but I mean, it is what it is.
And then if you drop that debt service to 100, then you're 50 for the other, that's 11.74.
Right, I mean, that's where I was at when this whole conversation started, and I'm not even beyond, just cutting where you can cut to be saving money. If you cut debt service to 100, what, it left you at 20,000?
Yeah,
In the
That's
good?
surplus.
I mean, that's better than having a deficit, and then hope it settles itself out next year, but
well, and the difference of the general fund proposed, deficit right now, 24,000. So,
prior to this.
mm.
That balances your budget, and
You gotta
that
take
makes
that.
cuts that balances your
Right,
budget.
so
It don't
I-
put you in a bad position.
So without saying cents wise, what it's gonna
Right.
come down, I wouldn't say that. Just, we'll see what that comes to.
Right. Yeah, not worried about, yeah, that's what I said, not sense wise, just making sure the budget's balanced and we put ourselves in a good financial position for the future, not just today. 'Cause I'd like to see the taxes cut $1, but definitely 30 cents was a good plan, but I can't see.
The only thing like that I think about on the forefront, you're talking about not necessarily next year, 28, ratio, and then 29 will be a reappraisal, which, there'll be a certified rate.
Well, like Jimmy's motion, I mean, it's, and there's money there, that you got the 1.6, it's been built up to, but if you pull from that and put yourself in a negative position, each year you're gonna keep pulling from that 1.6 till we end up like we was in 12, 13, and 14 and borrowing money again to pay light bills, telling the jail they can't buy toilet paper.
It was rough.
So was the toilet paper.
Free bar.
So I make a motion to take the 50,000 out of the line item for EMS and 100,000 from debt service. The same plan as Jimmy's, just reducing the amount of debt service.
All right, a motion to take 100 from debt service and 50 from EMS.
And whatever the cent value equals out, it equals out.
We'll balance 101 with the difference. And,
That'll balance That'll balance the budget, put us in a good revenue position for next year, and not cut our heads off.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, motion and a second, any discussion?
I guess.
Yeah.
3, Johnny?
No.
3-1, okay. 3-1.
And now we can go for whatever amendments Mr. Johnny wants to do.
Again, travel should be cut unless it's mandatory by the state. And I think the 3 positions need to be cut. I think the jobs can be added together. That's just me. That's $100,000 and basically, well, close to be about $110,000 right there. That can be cut. I think those, and I have nothing against anybody. Nobody likes doing that. But at the same time, we gotta make decisions. And just like this back here, I think personally, that finance thing needs to be pushed forward as soon as they can possibly be done. That's me.
Right, and as we start doing that, then we're gonna start,
You got the money,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
start
start 3
moving.
positions.
Right, well, we're gonna start moving positions around and there will be cuts made once we implement that.
Maybe, but
We need to
you
get
gotta
that
start
rolling.
somewhere and it's here. That's my position.
Make a motion.
Make a motion.
Then you, what's the motion? Cut three employees and cut all training?
It is just a temporary training
Be
for,
cut,
for this year.
yeah, be cutting $110,449.
With the 3 jobs, with the
3 positions and the travel or training.
Question, Jackson, y'all were in there with Mike. Maintenance of effort. They said I gotta have maintenance of effort.
You have to agree to lose the position.
Right. What are
Yeah, and,
the others?
the others,
You did
yeah.
not, or do?
Well, you
Do
just,
or not?
you think about the services that'll be taken away, I think. If one of them gets out of Bethany's, they'll probably pull driver's license services and things like that. If one comes out upstairs, that's gonna pull the collection service, anything like that, you know.
Well, I mean, we remember what happened with with Joanne
Yeah,
We're at the
salary
bare
suit.
Yeah,
and the issue won.
Got that possibility?
That's why there's 3 there now.
that's what I've been saying all along.
But it's not mandated.
The judge said it was.
I disagree. I think if the work
He had
has to be,
he
that
had to
work
gather.
I'll add some in.
I just think the work has to be done, but I don't think they can tell this county how many people are in the
I can add some
Let
to
the sheriff's office
attorney
file.
fee.
Let the
Yeah.
sheriff's office file.
Yeah, add to the attorney fees when you take it out.
And we're supposed to have 2 more.
That just happened.
All right, we got a motion, we got a second.
Jackson County last year.
I don't agree with that at this time. I don't agree with it.
Second call for a
I think
second?
we need to roll with the central building, and that's gonna consolidate some jobs and some offices and move some people around, and
Third call for a second?
we made a good faith effort so far to,
No seconds, motion failed.
I know that feels when we do the same.
Oh, it don't make no difference, hey, the citizen put me here, you know.
I got failed too.
Hey, I got another 100
Most
something
people
phone
come to some
calls.
kind of agreement, man.
something, that's what I'm saying.
Come to
Do something.
something. If we come to something, that's what we can't look for.
I'm just proud to actually see some, talking and stuff in budget meeting. I mean, used to, I mean, I ain't gonna go there. Y'all been here.
Anything else?
All right, so from the red table, what did that? What did that mean? When it all penciled out.
Yeah, let's balance 101. And I know we talked for just a second with some of those cuts. We talked about the other day with the sheriff's department, and I know they were kind of some nickel and dime stuff. So whatever y'all want to do with those, just think about that for a second. Get 101 balanced, and we'll adjust the the aggregate and the value of the penny on the levy, and just see what that exactly comes to. Because I don't know if that'll translate to exactly 11.4 cents or 74 cents. Probably not after you're balancing 101 with the differences. But we can figure that out. And it may not be bad, especially if we're gonna push, to the 27th. I can send everybody a copy of this, whatever comes out as the changes by, next couple of days, and, see where we're at.
Well, I mean, Joe did great working with us over here, and, I mean, we did nickel and dime, we're right, we're gonna have to watch it. We had to do that for him to be able to get a car.
Yep.
He had to make some cuts, the car couldn't happen.
Appreciate what you did too.
You never know what's gonna happen
Appreciate what you did too.
especially in the jail budget, you never know what's gonna happen.
You talking about the Explorer and the truck, that Explorer you talking, is that equipped, everything?
Yeah, 58.5
For everything?
out the door. It's knockout stripes.
Are we done?
Okay, but every light bar,
Yeah,
console,
all you do is drop a radio in it and drive
I
off.
got to go get fertilizer.
Now, the trucks were
60
60 or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm heading to Jefferson City in the morning, get 2 for 55.
trucks.
All right, so just so I understand, we're not shooting for we're not shooting for an exact penny decrease. We're just those cuts or whatever it is. Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, because we couldn't get to, Jimmy had a great idea, just, we couldn't get to it.
I had a lot of great ideas, don't come to fruition. It takes, my daddy used to call it
Shoot for a
beer,
number, we shoot for
champagne
cut.
taste on beer pocketbook.
Centralized billing is gonna address some of Mr. Johnny's concerns.
I think so, and we got, Miss Lynn West, the audit manager from the comptroller's office. She sent a template. I think it kind of blends the 81 Act with a couple of the private acts, and we'll get a copy of that together, and maybe at the next county commission meeting at least maybe look into some of that and have it ready where when it's time to go with the legislature, we can do that, and it'll be, have all the iron worked out, get with the school, get with the highway.
All the fussings we get, and we get fussed at every time we walk outside in public about salaries. I mean, we don't control the elected officials,
I know that,
And
but we
the
control
workers aren't
everybody
making-
else that's in that courthouse.
Right, but-
Or anywhere else we do. It looks like, to them, here's what it looks like. That we are supporting less than 500 people that work for the state and the county, and we got 6,000 people paying for their lifestyle.
Right, and
That's the way it was put to me.
Don't think the workers that are under the elected officials are living extravagant.
No, I didn't say that.
Lifestyles that the pay we
I
pay
did
them.
not say that.
But I also have some arguments about that, and people, it's not 1985, it's 2026, and work
Hey, I
and
know.
requirements have changed.
Like Jimmy said, I pay taxes like everybody else.
I put a picture the other day of an old campaign ad from 1986. There was 3 deputies and 4 dispatchers, and that was the sheriff's office.
You can't even run a third shift.
It ain't that day, it ain't like that no more.
Thank you folks for coming.
Yes,
Appreciate y'all coming.
we actually had a productive work session.
I think you're gonna move the county for me on the 7th.
Yeah.